Next week, when I stand beside you, I'll finally feel what it means to choose a future without second-guessing myself. I've been through enough to know the difference between pressure and peace, and choosing this engagement next week gives me peace. Next week's engagement isn't just about love. It's about me reclaiming the part of myself that always stayed silent. This time, I'm choosing a promise that feels like growth, not sacrifice, like freedom, not obligation. Next week, when our hands meet, I'll know I walked into this moment with clarity, strength, and my own voice. I used to let fear choose for me, but this engagement is my way of choosing courage over everything that held me back. Next week, when I say yes, I'll finally feel aligned with the version of me I've been trying to become. This decision wasn't rushed. It was built slowly, honestly, and bravely, until choosing you became the only truth. Next week, I'm not stepping into engagement because life demands it. I'm stepping in because my heart is ready. This time, I'm choosing a future I don't have to run from, hide from, or justify to anyone else. Next week is the first time I'll say yes without feeling like I'm betraying myself in the process. I never thought choosing love could feel this empowering, but next week, I get to prove it to myself. We're getting engaged next week, and I'm honestly shocked at how right it feels. Like everything led to this clarity. This engagement is the first decision I've made that feels like a step into light instead of a step into expectation. Next week, I'm not afraid to commit, because this time, the commitment is mine, not borrowed, forced, or influenced. Choosing you next week feels like choosing healing, safety, and a home I never thought I'd find. I used to doubt every choice I made, but this engagement is the first one I've never second-guessed. Next week, when I look at you, I'll know that I'm saying yes to a future I consciously wanted, not one I fell into. This time, I'm choosing a love that doesn't suffocate me. It grows with me, strengthens me, and respects me. Next week's engagement is the moment I finally choose a life that feels like it belongs to me. I've spent years trying to please everyone around me, but next week, I'm making a decision that pleases my heart. This engagement is the first chapter of a story I'm writing with intention instead of fear. Next week, when the world sees us get engaged, I'll feel proud knowing I wasn't pushed. I arrived willingly. I'm choosing you next week because you make choosing easy, not because choosing is expected. This time, I'm not battling doubts. I'm standing firm in a decision that feels solid in my bones. Next week is bigger than an engagement. It's my declaration that I'm done letting fear guide my life. I'm choosing a future that feels gentle on my heart, and next week is the beginning of that shift. This engagement feels like the first time life is aligning with something I truly asked for. Next week, when I say yes, it'll be a yes that comes from strength, love, and clarity, not from pressure. I'm walking into this engagement with a full heart, because choosing you doesn't feel like losing me. This time, I'm not pretending to be ready. I am ready, and that truth is freeing. Next week's engagement is my way of choosing a life I don't need to explain or defend. I used to let others dictate my future, but this engagement is the moment I finally start dictating my own. Next week, I'll stand by you without fear, because I'm choosing a love that stands by me too. This time, I'm not being led. I'm leading myself toward the future I actually want. Next week, I'm choosing a commitment that doesn't feel heavy. It feels like hope. I've been through doubt, pressure, and hesitation, but this engagement is the first choice that feels pure. Next week, I'm stepping out of my past and into a future I built with intention and courage. This engagement is my proof that I'm done shrinking myself to fit expectations that never belong to me. Next week, when I say yes, I'll be choosing a love that finally feels like it matches the rhythm of my heart. I'm choosing you next week because you're the only future that doesn't feel forced. It feels fate-written. This time, my heart is louder than my fears, and next week is the moment I honor that truth. Next week, I'm not afraid of forever. I'm ready for it because I'm choosing it. I'm choosing a future where my voice matters, my heart matters, and my decisions are my own. Next week's engagement is the moment I reclaim every part of myself that once felt powerless. This time, love isn't overwhelming, it's grounding. And choosing you feels like choosing stability. Next week, I'll look at you and see not just a partner, but a decision I'm proud of making. This engagement is not a compromise. It's a celebration of who I've become. We're both getting engaged next week, and for the first time in my life, I'm choosing this path because it feels right, not because someone else expects it. Next week, we step into a new chapter, and for once, I'm choosing my heart over my fear, my truth over everyone's opinions. I used to let everyone make decisions for me, but this engagement, this love, this commitment is finally mine to claim. We're getting engaged next week, and I've never been more certain that this time I'm choosing a future that feels like home. I know we're both stepping into something huge next week, but for once, I'm not doing it out of pressure. I'm doing it out of love. It's overwhelming to think that next week, a simple yes will change everything. But for once, it will be a yes I actually mean. This engagement isn't about traditions, expectations, or obligations. It's about me choosing you with my whole soul. Next week, when I stand there and say yes, it won't be because I'm supposed to. It'll be because I want to. I've never taken ownership of my choices like this before, but choosing you feels like the first real decision I've made for myself. Next week is not just an engagement. It's a promise to myself that I won't settle for a life someone else designed for me. I can't lie, I'm nervous about next week, but I'm also proud I'm finally stepping into a future that I chose with intention. For years, I lived on autopilot, saying yes to things I didn't even want. But next week, that yes is mine, fully mine. We're getting engaged next week. And the most beautiful part is that my heart is calm because this decision came from within me. This time, I'm not losing myself for love. I'm choosing love that lets me be myself. Next week, we make it official, and I'm ready. not because I have to be, but because I choose to be. The closer we get to engagement day, the more I realize how powerful it feels to finally choose my own destiny. I've had a lot taken from me in the past, but this choice, this engagement, is my way of taking back control. Next week will mark the first time I step into a commitment with clarity instead of confusion, confidence instead of fear. This engagement means more to me than anyone knows. It's proof that I can finally trust myself with my own life decisions. Next week, when I say yes, it won't be the world choosing for me. It will be my soul choosing you. We're getting engaged next week, and I finally feel free. Free to choose, free to love, free to live my truth. My heart isn't racing out of fear anymore. It's racing out of anticipation, because this time I'm walking into love by choice. Next week, everything changes, but for once I'm not resisting it. I'm embracing it because it's my decision. It feels surreal knowing that this engagement isn't forced, rushed, or expected. It's simply something I want. Choosing you next week is the first time I've felt like my life is heading exactly where I want it to go. This engagement is the result of every moment I decided to stop allowing others to steer my life. Next week is not just a date on the calendar. It's a turning point I created for myself. I'm walking into this engagement with open eyes, steady hands, and a heart that finally knows what it wants. This time, my yes isn't borrowed, influenced, or manipulated. It is mine, sacred and unshakable. Next week, we take the next step, and I'm proud that I'm choosing it out of strength, not out of expectation. I used to think love was about pleasing others, but choosing you next week feels like choosing peace for myself. This engagement is healing for me. It's proof that I'm capable of making decisions that bring me joy. Next week, I'm not just committing to you. I'm committing to the version of myself who finally learned to choose happiness. It feels empowering knowing that this engagement is something my heart wants, not something my environment demanded. We're getting engaged next week, and I'm finally done apologizing for choosing the love that feels right to me. Next week will be the moment I finally see my life aligning with what I truly desire. I've spent years avoiding decisions, but this one, I'm walking toward it with confidence and intention. This time, I'm not scared of choosing wrong. I'm proud of choosing what feels undeniably right. Next week's engagement is not a step I'm being pushed into. It's a step I've been quietly preparing for. We're both stepping into something life-changing, and for once, my heart is leading, not my fears. This is the first time I'm saying yes without doubt, because it's the first time the decision is fully mine. Next week, when the world watches us get engaged, I'll know that I chose this moment from my soul. I used to let others define love for me, but choosing you next week feels like reclaiming my own definition. This engagement is the beginning of a life I consciously, carefully, intentionally want to build with you.